of the Filipino and Chicano community in the UFW that did the Union Club. So just a little history for all of us to know. But let's continue on with my story. So it all starts when it's June 2024 and I'm observing the presidential election debates here in the United States. It's Biden and Trump, and we can all kind of tell how that went. It went pretty interesting, and there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt, and we were questioning, can Biden handle this, or is Kamala next? Is America ready to handle having a woman president? All of these things started running into my mind, and then next thing you know, I start seeing this suggestion on my screen, and I see Xochitl versus Claudia, the presidential debates in Mexico. And I clicked it, and I'm thinking, no way are two women running for president in Mexico. So I looked into it, and it was real. It was actually happening. And this gave this drive to me to want to go and observe it for the first time in my life. I've never been to Mexico. I didn't even have a passport, and I was just thinking, let's go find out. And I was waiting anxiously for my passport to come, and then to get a ticket, and then to see Mexico City for the first time. I've never been there. I've heard stories, and I was really anxious. So after the debates in the United States is when we find out that Kamala is running for president. And then that started bringing me a lot of questions, and I started thinking, I wonder if people in Mexico know what's going on here in the United States. So then that gave me this idea of, let me film this. So I got my camera and I got my ticket, and next thing you know, I'm driving from LA to the Tijuana border at 3 in the morning. I have my carriage, I'm scared, I don't know, I can't even see anything, but I make it to the airport and I'm the only one there. I didn't want to miss my flight. I was so terrified. I've heard all these stories, you need to be there hours beforehand. Some people say 5, some people 4, some people 8, but I made it there. And I was waiting for me to fly to La Ciudad de Mexico. I'm flying up and I'm really anxious, but then I ground myself the moment we land. Once I'm there, I start walking these steps, and what felt unfamiliar became familiar. These were stories that were given to me by my jefe when he used to live in La Ciudad de Mexico. And I realized, wow, we're connected somehow. So now I'm walking to El Zócalo and I'm getting really anxious. I'm getting all of these thoughts like, are people gonna wanna hear what I have to say, be interviewed? And I was really surprised. I got a lot of interviews from a lot of people, and even more surprised, they knew about what was happening here in America. And I was like, okay, let's hear about it. So I started getting interviews, and they came so easily. I was really happy about that. I got some insights from a woman who was part of a femicide movement in La Ciudad de Mexico. And she was telling me that she was really surprised that Claudia Sheinbaum's able to handle all of these kicks and punches that she gets from all of these men. And there's this quote that keeps going throughout the entire city. México, un país que es machista, finalmente está listo para tener una mujer. Guiar nuestro futuro, which translates to Mexico, which is a machista country, is finally going to be able to be accepting of having a woman lead. That to me was very empowering. I'm walking there, I'm seeing people from other countries, not just Mexico, people from Costa Rica, people from Colombia. They're coming to witness this themselves too. So then I realized, okay, this wasn't just a whim. People are interested in this. And that kind of led me back to my reflection here in the United States and how I started getting politically involved. It all started when my mom would take me to her volunteering. She liked to volunteer with the UFW here, with unions. Anybody who needed her to cook, she was there. And I went with her. And when I was in the background just watching her, clinking through pans and serving tables, and I'm helping her out, I would hear all of these men speak. And then I kept thinking, my mom was always present to these, but no one has ever offered her the platform to speak. She had a lot to say too. And I started thinking, Well, where are the other women involved? We were always in the behind the scenes, but we were never given the opportunity to take the lead. And if we look back in the Chicano history, there is 4 famous men who have been giving a lot of credit to the Chicano activism. But we seem to kind of put aside the other women who were in the behind the scenes and gave them the positions that they were in. It was women who gathered everybody through conferences, through networks. They were gathering people through their food. They brought their children. They're the reason that we have all the powerful movements that we did. Because had it not been for them to raise the children while these men took on the lead and taking on the household on their own, these men would have never had the security of their families being taken care of. It was their women who led their households. And it is through these women that they are doing something politically active that we are not recognizing. And that is they're preserving culture, language, history, food. That is a form of political resistance. Political resistance, people think it's you have to go to a ballot, you have to go vote, you have to go and be the leader, be that next person, that face that people can lean onto. But we often forget that it's their language. It's sitting down with our families. It's listening to los consejos, passing down that oral history. That is political resistance. And then, as I mentioned, women have carried so much power in Mexico. And in the United States, women continue to carry on that weight through nonprofit organizing. But then there's sometimes women who get the opportunity to actually take the lead, take the charge, and they become the respectable women that we know of today. And that, to me, someone that I can share with is the Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber. Through my work in the state, I was able to meet her, and I never knew that I would meet someone so powerful, so empowering, and so inspiring. And given this opportunity to work with her, she has offered her time to go and present at Cal State Ole so she can hear her story. So we can finally start seeing these politicians outside of just a picture and seeing them as people. And I feel like that, to me, is something that's very politically important. It's to see these people as a community, as we see each other as community, because we are what keeps each other alive, is through showing up at events, the cookouts, the family gatherings. Sometimes we're so focused into capitalism that I have to go here, I have to go there, I have to be here, I have to be there, that you forget to ground yourself. You forget to give thanks to your mother, the one who took care of you. And sometimes you forget to give thanks to those friends who were there for you, who took on that role that if you didn't have a mother. It's the family and the friends that help us preserve a part of our identity, a part of our culture. And yeah, I think that's all I pretty much had to say. Sorry, I wrote this whole big speech, and I just feel like it just comes out of the heart more naturally, everything I share. And like I said, sometimes we have to just learn to listen. Sometimes it's not just that person who got that degree who is wise. Sometimes it is that family member, that elder who knows more about our history than our textbooks have taught us. And sometimes it's just leaning on a hand and giving them that person the comfort to know that we see them. And through that all, I just wanted to share with you that I'm very grateful to be here today to share this with you all. It means a lot to me to have people actually learn to listen to the stories of others come together.